All right, so before I get started, I want to take a quick opportunity to praise my Heavenly Father, because my journey and my purpose would be impossible without His mercy and grace. Do you know anyone that has been arrested at the age of 11 due to poverty? Do you know anyone that joined a gang at the age of 14 because they needed to survive the neighborhood they were born into? Do you know anyone by the age of 19 that accumulated 13 arrests and spent 8 months incarcerated?
Wow.
More importantly, do you know anyone that despite that background had the opportunity to live a life that any parent would be proud of? Well, that's my story. And despite my checkered past, today I'm a criminal defense attorney in Florida and Georgia.
Yeah.
But I'm also the CEO and founder of a privately funded, evidence-based restorative justice nonprofit organization called RED, which happened to be my nickname as gangster for obvious reasons. RED stands for Rehabilitation Enables Dreams. If RED were a publicly funded program, we would be considered an accountability corp. Now, when I was rising out of the ghettos in South Florida, when I was trying to overcome poverty as the son of immigrant parents, when I was traversing through the criminal justice system in the 1990s, programs like RED and accountability courts did not exist. That's why it took me 15 years to become an attorney rather than the conventional 8. I fought hard to overcome the obstacles of a life associated with poverty, and for reasons only God can explain, I had hope. Hope is that thing inside of us that tells us that despite the evidence to the contrary, something bigger awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it, to work for it, and to fight for it. Well, I fought for it without an accountability court program. And there were days I wanted to throw the towel in. There were days I just wanted to quit. There were days I questioned if my life even mattered. But I'm glad that I didn't quit, because at the end of my journey to be sworn in as an attorney, I discovered my purpose. And my purpose is restorative justice. My purpose is to create opportunities for individuals trying to overcome the same obstacles that I've already conquered. My purpose is to show that no life is beyond hope or redemption. And that's why I brought 2 graduates of the RED program, Noah and Gaius Rainey, who you guys will hear from. But first, let me tell you a little bit about RED. We were founded in 2015. We graduated 100 participants with only 5 of them reoffending. And while these statistics are unofficial because we're not a publicly funded program, these are statistics that the criminal justice system has never seen before. We're sustaining a 5% recidivism rate, which translates to a 95% success rate. Let me tell you why. We're a 12-month program that administers modules that enhance our participants' social, civic, and financial literacies. We assess each individual and we match them with a mentor on a 1-to-1 ratio that stays with them throughout the program to graduation and beyond. We provide GED pre-testing, we provide tutoring for any of those that did not graduate high school. We do emotional intelligence training, we provide basic banking principles. We help participants obtain state-issued IDs and voter registration cards, and we provide employment readiness workshops and partner with staffing companies that provide employment opportunities upon graduation. We do community-oriented group events, and we work with local police departments to create shared experiences that bridge the gap between law enforcement and community. And when our graduates finish the program, we dismiss their case and restrict their record. We dismiss their case and restrict their record. That's why our graduates don't come back. That's why we're sustaining a 5% recidivism rate. We give them not only hope, but we provide them with educational resources that develop their confidences and allow them to have the opportunity to realize their best versions of themselves. Now, there's nothing better than proof of concept, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Gaius Rainey and Noah.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gaius Rainey. I'm a 23-year-old that was incarcerated for felony possession.
Can't hear.
Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I'm a 23-year-old that was incarcerated for felony possession. I caused my mother and my brother Fabian to be arrested also. I thought selling drugs was my way of putting food on my family's table. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I turned to doing a lot of different things, I'm not gonna lie. but it turned out to hurt them far worse than I could help them. Without doubt in my mind, I stood up and I took all the charges. I'm very God-fearing, so I really thought my life was over. All I ever wanted to do was just be the man in my house, but I never knew what it meant to be a man until I got to Judge Oscar Jackson's courtroom and I had a chance to go with Red. I'm from Applefield County Road, and to be honest, man, the youth don't really have much to look up to. All we have is the neighborhood hustlers, or you have just the rappers, you know, people that you look up to. So by having the chance to live a life with, you know, just people telling you constantly they're proud of you, you know, keep up the good work, it meant a lot. Deep down in my heart, it meant a lot. And I know there's plenty of other young people that really feel the same way and deserve every bit of redemption. Like, you know, I learned my lesson. I had plenty of interviews, job interviews I blew the roof off of, you know, but I just couldn't get the job because of my record, you know. But I'm blessed to be one of the people and to be a part of this diversion program. You know, and it's gonna help me put on my record. I only had one fatal charge, and it wasn't a major charge. It wasn't violent. It was 3 pills that I prescribed to myself was in the wrong body. You know, it was 3 pills that changed my life, but it changed it for the better. It made me want to work hard, you know, live life, you know, just take care of my family, and just invest into society as it has invested into me. You know, my mother was with me through it all. No matter how wrong I did, she never seen me do any wrong. Shortly after I graduated my recidivism class, she passed away. But the thing, she passed away January 26th, and she was young, 46, but she had a chance to basically see me do great things, man. I've become a leader in my community. Share, you know, for a lot of different families, and just become just an overall mentor in my neighborhood to all the young people around me, man. And I just know deep down in my heart, man, I really believe, and I know there's more people out here like me, carnal, you know, that deserve every chance of redemption. Like I said, I just can't express it enough. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Red, God, first of all, Nathan Deal, the lovely Sherry Boston, Judge Oscar Jackson, Allie, the whole courtroom, seat, all the way down to the baby. It just helped me get my mind right, and I want more out of life. And I know there's plenty more out there that deserve a chance, so we just have to give it to them. You know, reach out to the next person. You know, just reach out to the youth. Reach out to the person that you could be a neighbor. It could be just any child you see. Children these days are going to do as they see. You know, so you can tell them certain things, or you can be with them at school. They're at school 8 hours a day, but the rest of their day, the other 20 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? You got to just stay with them. They're by themselves at home.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So as mentioned, my name is Noah, and first of all, I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to speak here today. Without the efforts of David Windecher and Judge Oscar Jackson, my appearance here would not have been possible. I'm a graduate of the 2017 class of Red. I was arrested for felony assault when I was just 20 years old. That lapse in judgment behavior is something that I've reflected upon almost daily for the past 5 years. I truly regret and have accepted the actions that led me to be in a position that was not worthy of me. However, the other side of the system is also not without its faults and would benefit from reflection upon itself. While I was incarcerated, I was witness to a slew of unfortunate realities that I'm sure too often go under the radar. I observed inmates using drugs that were sold to them by the very guards and officers who were there to supposedly rehabilitate them. Not only that, but my legal representative informed me that my bond was around 10% of an African-American offender of the same charge. My bond was 10% of an African-American offender. I just don't understand why mercy can't be doled out equally. For pure luck, when I was released, I was placed into the RED program along with 15 to 20 other young men who are similarly blessed. I say that because programs like RED truly are a blessing. Through RED, I was mentored and counseled in a myriad of ways so that my life could again be constructive and contributory. Since my release, I've been gainfully employed, in no small part thanks to RED. By helping restrict my record, they've allowed me to continue my rise through employment with each opportunity better than the last. I'm happy to be standing here before you, having been very, very positively influenced by the RED program. Because of this, I plan to return as a mentor for the 2020 class. I want to share with the new group of mentees the wisdom and hope that RED can offer you. Not only that, but I'm mere weeks away from starting a career opportunity that will further me along a path of rehabilitation and production. Through all these experiences, I've become sincerely invested in helping to reshape our justice system, and I hope you all are too. Opportunities such as RED shouldn't be a lottery draw. As much as I value the fact that I was picked for the program, as much as I value the fact that I was picked for the program, I would appreciate it more fully if more were given the opportunity. A program such as this should be available for anyone who has no mistakes behind them and truly change for the better, because rehabilitation does enable dreams. Thank you.
Thank you guys and Connor. People are so much more than their worst moments, right? Everybody wins with accountability courts. Not only are we producing contributing members of society, but we're tax savings, $5,000 per individual. As a matter of fact, in 2017, the latest data that we have, 1,700 individuals utilized the accountability court system. And through that process, we created an economic benefit of $38.7 million to the state. So when you factor in the economic benefit and the tax savings, I'm not sure why anybody would have an objection to accountability courts being in every jurisdiction in this state. Under Governor Deal, Georgia was becoming the envy of the nation regarding criminal justice reform. Deal saw the opportunity. And obviously things have changed, but his time was going to eventually run out, and that's why I chose to make sure that RED was privately funded. I couldn't risk what I knew was behind the realization of disconnected leadership. Cutting funding for accountability courts is short-sighted. Getting tougher on crime does not create safer communities. It creates more crime. And Georgia deserves better, much, much better. I want to thank the Georgia Justice Project, the Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, the Southern Center for Human Rights for their efforts, their recent efforts in House Bill 528. Record restriction is a true path to rehabilitation for people who have been suffering the stigma of a criminal conviction. I also want to thank progressive prosecutors like Sherry Boston for being a true believer of accountability courts and restorative justice. Her team leading these efforts, Lisa Moultrie, Isaac Howard, and Tina Padilla, are true humanitarians. If you live in DeKalb County, make sure you get out and vote and you keep these people in office. Criminal justice reform is working, folks. Programs like RED are working, but we have to remain steadfast. Accountability courts are producing better community experiences, they're reducing our tax burden, and they're shaping Georgia's best future. So let's keep fighting for opportunity for all. Thank you for all your efforts, and God bless you on your journeys.